live right now. You probably see I have someone there in the background, and Arista is here. I'm going to share a little bit more about Arista. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Megan, and I am an author's coach. I'm a consultant, and I consult with prophetic authors as well as scribes and high achieving women of faith in business who's not just writing books for the sake of writing it, but they have been called and mantled to also steward movements, and they're stepping out in obedience. And most of the women that are journey along, they are both anointed for ministry, and they also have a mantle of wealth on their life. So we are talking about stewarding businesses. We are talking about multiplying income and all the things. But Arista, just introduce yourself to everyone, and then we're gonna just start with the conversation. Apologies on our side. We were just getting on all the platforms. We were supposed to start 18 minutes ago, but we are here right now, making sure that we are sharing all the goodness with you. Arista, just share who you are, and then let's just deep dive into the conversation.
Yes, let's do it. Thank you for having me, Megan. So my name is Arista Steyn. I reside in Johannesburg. We've got the best weather ever. And I'm a Kingdom Scribe. I authored or I published my first book end of last year, and I love partnering with Megan. Yeah,
Yes,
that's in
I
a
was like,
summary.
Arista, let's partner with God. And then you know what?
Yes.
God placed me on our path. We placed us together. Let's chat about that,
Yeah.
right? Let's just have a conversation about how we met. Because I know there was someone in my community that actually referred you to me, and then you reached out. And then Arista was like, you know what? There's a book that I have in my heart. I want to share the book. And I feel very strongly that this is a message that the world needs to hear right now. And
Yeah.
then I reached out, and then you joined the challenge. And then what happened after that for you, Arista? You can just share your personal
Man,
experience.
that was crazy. I had someone that lives in the USA that tagged me on one of your posts, and that's how we connected. But the Lord spoke to me before that connection, and I signed up for a 3-day challenge. And from there, it was just the book that was on my heart, that the Lord placed on my heart. Just man, it was just released. It just happened, and then I went embarked on the whole journey of writing my book, and you coached me along. You pulled out all the gold that I was struggling to get to the surface, if I can put it that way. Um, so that is just on a personal side what happened there. I really learned so much. The skills that I've gained in, I was thinking about it a while ago. I was like, man, 2025 was an incredible year, because that's the year that I partnered with you, and that's the year that I walked out with you in terms of writing my book. But the stuff that I learned in 2025 just opened up a whole new world for me. It's like a whole new world opened up for me. And yeah, that's my experience. It is things that I could only imagine, I actually got to live out. Um, and that to me is so valuable.
Yeah, I remember, Arista, when we jumped on a call and you said, you know what, I'm going through a transition right now. And there were some things that you needed to place on hold, because I know even some of you watching right now, you've been through that where God said pause.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it says pause so that, we can take an account of what is happening around us, and so that we can also finish what we've started. Because let's just face it, there's so many things happening out there. There's so many leaders that you become busy, you become distracted, and you perhaps you have the book on your heart, but you don't seem to be able to execute it. So I know for sure these
Mm.
things you needed to pause. How was that for you? Obviously, it was purely obedience. How did you work through that season where you had to
Mm.
put things on pause so that you can pivot and so that you can actually do the things that God has called you to do?
Yeah, that's such a good question, Megan. You know, when the Lord said, so I had a very big a trip that came up that I had to go. I had to go to Australia, and everything was already organized for that. Everything. It was a ministry trip, and the Lord said to me, Arista, I had to go and attend a conference, and the Lord said to me, Arista, you're not going. And that to me just felt like my whole life crumbled in that moment, because I've been sitting in anticipation for months for this big event that was supposed to happen. And I went through a lot of emotions. I went from, am I hearing correctly? Because I started doubting myself. How can this be? And the Lord just said to me, Arista, I need you to focus. I need you to focus on what you need to do. And I knew it was the writing. I knew, because he said to me, this is what you are doing. 2025, you are writing. That's what you are doing. And I had to go through all this, feeling like I disappointed people around me, feeling like, and I'll be honest, I felt like a failure at some stage when I heard this, when I had to cancel everything. I said, oh, Lord,
Yeah.
this is a failure. And the Lord said, no, I'm setting you up. I'm setting you up. This is not failure. This is not where you need
Yeah.
to be at this moment. And man, I'm so glad I did it. Because I realized in hindsight that if I hadn't been obedient, that book
Yeah.
would not be able to be birthed. That book wouldn't be on paper, because I would
Yeah.
get distracted with all the other opportunities that would come along from that event. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure there may be, some people that don't know what the word scribe means. What does the word scribe mean to you?
Wow, wow. To me
What is a
personally,
scribe? Yeah.
what is the scribe according to the book of Arista Steyn? according, according to me, how I see a scribe is someone that can take what the Lord has placed in your spirit and in your heart and be able to put words to it, and to be able
Yeah.
to pen it down so that other people can read it, so that other people can have the encounter, so that other people can get clarity and a revelation. So that to me is a scribe, is someone that's taking something that God gave them in their spirit and placed on their heart, and be able to pen it down in a way for more people to access it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I get that question quite a lot, seeing that, because of the type of work that I do, activating scribes and, partnership with the Holy Spirit. And I was uh, granted the opportunity to actually write an article for a UK magazine where I needed
Wow.
to write about what it means to activate a scribe. And even at the time, the editor was like, okay, you need to explain this to maybe the new believer that maybe doesn't understand because the word isn't necessarily in the Bible. And then also, just breaking it down practically, like what it looks like. And as I was doing my research and as I was writing the article and, communing with the Lord and asking him to give me the words to write down so that his people can understand, this is biblical and this is something where God is inviting us to actually just partner with him in our writing. And
Mm.
something that stood out for me was that a lot of times as leaders, they disqualify themselves to be scribes. But I came on here to say that scribe has nothing to do with our qualifications. It has nothing to do with our works.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what we do in our own strength. And it's got absolutely nothing to do with striving or perfection. But it has everything to do with God is looking for people that is available and that's intentional about stewardship, about obedience, and about intimacy
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
order. So if any of
Yeah.
you that's watching right now, if you have been, God has been tugging at your heart and he's been saying, I've called you to be a scribe, I've called you to write, with the Spirit of God, embrace it. Embrace
Yeah.
it fully. And I think Arista, when I was journeying alongside you, that is something that it was a mindset shift needed to happen because I know there was times where you said, okay, I'm not sure, like, is this supposed to be this way? I was like, no, you're going on the right track. And so that was quite fun. And then also the experience of being because it was others in the community from the
Yeah.
USA. How was that experience for you? Like, being
Oh,
part of the community.
man, that was amazing. Can I just say something? You know what, Megan, when we were talking about a scribe now, I realized that the moment when you look away from, am I an author, and you look and you go, Lord, have I been called to be a scribe? And you walk in that
Yes.
identity.
Yes.
Being an author or not has got nothing to do with the price of
Yep.
anything.
That's
It
right.
is taking on that identity and going, right, but actually I am a scribe and that needs to be
Yes.
released from me. And I start walking in
Yes.
that. So I just had to throw that in now, because as you were speaking, I was like, that's exactly where the shift came for me, was when I could go and say,
Yes.
oh, but I am a scribe. And that is
Yeah.
where I'm operating from now. So
Yes.
being in a community with other people, that was so incredible. And I'll tell you why, because sometimes you'll sit and you'll go, oh, I'm going through this and I'm struggling with this, and I don't know if is it a Arista thing or is it a Scribe thing? You just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get in that community, and all of a sudden, some of the
Mm.
other ladies, and I mean, I love them so much. They were amazing. They would just come and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm struggling with this," and I'd go, "Wow, that's exactly it." And it was just like, okay, so I'm not alone. I am actually not
Yeah.
alone. This
Yeah.
is not a Arista thing. This is a Scribe thing, because this is, and now we can
Yes.
work it through. Um, and it was just amazing to soundboard from the others in the group. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's an idea that comes up, and just to soundboard it. And also, I think the biggest takeaway about the community was the fact that I didn't know my elbow from my knee. I felt like a monkey with a razor blade in the hand when I entered the community. I was just like nowhere. And to sit there and to see the processes that they are going through and to learn
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, 2025 was the year that I learned so much when it comes to scribing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Loved it. That was amazing.
Yeah. And so, of course,
Yeah.
with that also came, so for those of you that's not familiar, if you're on the platform, you haven't heard me talking about prophetic pre-journaling. So that is just
Oh, yeah.
basically hearing God's voice for your book. I see Arista making, yeah, I can relate to that. So just for you, if you don't understand the term prophetic pre-journaling, is basically where you ask God a question and you're journaling out, what you hear him say, what you see. So that's one of the tools that I use in our communities, or that Arista was a part of. How did that help you to actually get to the
Oh,
place where you actually finish your book? How the process?
mm.
Because you get traditional journaling, and then you obviously get the prophetic prayer journaling that we do with our authors. How is that process?
That process is pivotal. It is key to writing, because
Yeah.
personally, that process gave me the courage to actually step out and in. Because
Okay.
I had so
Yeah.
many doubts on things, and I would in that just go, Lord, and I'd ask him a question, and I just sit with him. And the next moment, when I just start writing whatever he places in my spirit, I would
Yeah.
have clear answers. I had to the T answers, where, and it was questions like, Lord, can I do this in 90 days? Just, Lord, can I do this in 90 days?
Yeah.
Boom, two pages of journaling, and he just
Well.
downloads. And I look at it and I go, this is not Arista that wrote this, because some of that I'm just like, I can't think that I wrote this. But this was the
Yeah.
Lord just journaling and working
So,
through me. And
yeah.
then whenever I got to a moment where I was unsure about anything in the book, literally anything, from, Lord, how many chapters do I have? Lord, how many what does
Mm.
it look like? What
Yeah.
even like the cover, Lord, what does it look like? And I asked the Lord, I journaled about it, Lord, this is, and just that process of getting, and I'm going to use this word, it's probably not the right word, but like getting the gunk out of the space, out of, like, Lord, this is the stuff that I'm struggling with, or this is stuff I need questions with, or need answers to. Getting that out of the way allowed me to flow with what the Lord wanted me to do. I don't know if gunk is the right word, but just, I think you know what I mean. Just
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
on paper, the stuff that is
Yes.
really holding me
Yes.
back, get it on
Yeah.
paper, journal with the Lord. Yeah, it was pivotal. I actually still do it until today. I still do a bit of
Love it.
journal.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely amazing. So
And
for those of you that just joined in now, so myself and Arista, we're speaking about scribe activation, activating the gift as a scribe. If you have been called to write a book in the season, or just partner with God in your writing and building movements and all the things. So Arista saw great results. She published her book Unveiled, and then also a book become an international award-winning book. So if you know that you want to produce good quality books, and you want to make sure that the structure and the content and everything is positioning you as an expert, not just an ordinary author, but positioning you as an expert, positioning you in a way where you are flowing in your giftings, and you are the message that you are speaking about. That is what God has been given you. We are launching a in-person event. Arista, maybe you can share a little bit about that. So if you are in South Africa, the in-person workshop that we're talking about, that may just be a good fit for you. And then a little bit later on, I'll speak about the movement, the Kingdom Scribe Collective movement, for those of you that's international, that if you're from the USA, the UK, or Australia, I will touch a little bit about that. But the workshop, can you just share with us, Arista's organizing the workshop for me. She stepped up and she said, you know what, Megan, there's so many women in Johannesburg and Gauteng that needs the gift of the scribe to be activated. So Arista, I came to you and I said, I've got this idea, and then the event happened.
And,
Do you want to share
and
what
then I
about
said
that?
yes. And then I said
She
yes.
said yes.
Yeah,
Why do you
amazing.
believe it's so needed, especially in Gauteng, in that area?
Because firstly, you are in Cape Town, so we need you in Joburg.
Yeah.
That's the
I need to get on a
first thing.
flight.
But you need to get on a
Yeah.
flight and get there.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's something that just happens when there is a release or an activation of a gift. Where there is, especially an in-person focused session. It's great having online. I do most of my stuff online. But I think there's just something that happens on a
Yes.
in-person. It's just different. And I think if we can take the why I said yes is because I actually saw it. I saw it when you were speaking to me. I could see that. I could see that moment of there be worship, there be an open heaven, just like a open heaven, with the Lord, and just getting that impartation, getting that activation, getting that release. For Johannesburg, I don't know anybody in Johannesburg that can do or facilitate what you facilitate. I don't know people that can do that. But I speak to people a lot that says, Arista, I've got this thing in my spirit and I just can't, I don't know how to release it. I don't know how, and I can have a chat with them, but it's different when you actually sit down and say, okay, let's go through the workshop. Let's unleash and unlock what needs to be unlocked within you. I think there are so many scribes, kingdom scribes, that don't even know they are kingdom scribes. They don't even know what the word scribe is, as we said earlier.
Yeah.
But they don't even know it, but they know there's something in them stirring.
There's something bubbling, yeah.
There's something bubbling. There's something that needs to be released within them, that needs to be unlocked so that they can walk out what the Lord has called them. So if you are in Johannesburg, I want to go as far as to say if you are in Gauteng, because Johannesburg is really close to Pretoria, to the Muldersdrift, to all the outskirts of Johannesburg. A place alive is worth the drive. So if you drive an hour to get to us, it will be worth it. So I'm calling everyone: Joburg, Gauteng, Pretoria, everyone that's in Gauteng. It's on the 20th of June. It's in Muldersdrift. It's such a nice venue. I will actually go and do a video at the venue so people can see what it looks like. But it's really just such a nice venue. It's on a Saturday, and it's 3.5 hours of your day. That is what it's gonna take to actually unleash and unlock what the Lord has placed on you.
Yeah, and just to take a little bit further, I spoke to Arista. I said we're not just going to be the unlocking, but we're also going to be doing the equipping and the empowering, right?
Yes.
So in that 3.5 hours, you will also get to hear my proven framework, where you can actually finish your book in less than 90 days. So there will be activation, but there will also be equipping and empowering, which I believe is key if we're going to occupy spaces, right? So and then the book that I wrote, Unlock the Scribe In You, that will also be available at the venue. So if you are interested in actually getting the book and you want to go a little bit deeper, you are welcome to do that as well. But the purpose of the workshop is really to get into a space of like-minded people, to get in a space where you can worship God, where you can grow spiritually, and then, get the tools to actually not just get the downloads, but now to go,
Yeah.
just like Arista did, get pen on paper, and just scribe and write down whatever it is that, God is releasing to you. Did you want to maybe just add anything to that for those that thinking of
Yes.
coming? Yeah.
Yes. What I want to say is it's great if you have something bubbling in you, but you need a way to actually execute that.
Yeah.
And people sometimes don't know how to execute. And I think at the workshop they will get that equipment, they will get that tools to actually execute what has been brewing and bubbling in their spirit to put on paper. And I think it's so important to get that. We
Yeah.
can walk around with it in us, or we can walk around with it in us but flowing out of us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be great. So there's only limited seats available. Like I said, Arista
Yes.
is organizing that event for me. So I will be there. The dates would be to the 20th of June, and the time slot
Yes.
will be between, I think, between 9 and 12:30 for those
That's
that's
it.
traveling to the Muldersdrift area. So if you are, keen on driving, if it's just an hour, if God has been speaking to your heart, and you know that you need to get activated, you need to get equipped, you need to get empowered in this hour, because there's people that is waiting on your story.
Yeah.
Arista wrote a
Mm.
powerful, powerful testimony in the book Unveiled. She was bold, she was courageous, because she
Mm.
believed that God was speaking to her heart, and she believed that, the message needs to go out. I think even
Yeah.
Arista, for you, for those that thinking, their story is not significant, for those that's, overthinking that process, you can for sure. You want to speak to that?
um, you you have a story in you, right? Everyone has a story, and the enemy wants to downplay that story
Yeah,
so that you don't bring it out. But
yeah,
someone out there is waiting for your story. They're waiting
yes,
for the story, not to hear your story, but to experience the breakthrough that you had in your story. Because when we put God in our story and we give him the glory, we can actually release that. It's a testimony. And when we speak about our stories and we bring it out and we bring it in the light, someone else can pick it up from there, and the Lord can do what he's done with you. He can do it with someone else. Your story might be the key for someone else's breakthrough. It might be the key for someone saying, oh my goodness. And I mean, I'm getting feedback on my book. Some people are just going, Arista, you have no idea, I've been walking with stuff
wow,
for years on end, and all of a sudden it makes sense, and now I know how to
so
tackle and work with it. So
nice,
it's so
nice.
important. It's so important. Get your stories
Yeah.
out, get it out there. Yeah.
So if you're in the Gauteng or Johannesburg, Pretoria area, we're having the Unlock the Scribe In You activation workshop. That will be 20th of June between 9 and 12:30. The price is 550 Rand, and you're getting snacks there, you're getting a beverage there, and you're getting the godly connections there, the divine appointments.
That's
Not
it.
that, we can't put a can't put a price on that, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm bringing my skill set, my expertise, making sure that you are positioned, not just for life and business, but also spiritually, right? That's my
Mm.
mandate. That's what God has called me to do, to activate scribes in this season. If you're
Yeah.
tuning in from USA, from the UK, from Canada, from Europe, wherever you're tuning in from, I didn't forget about you. I do have an international community. It's called the Kingdom Scribe Collective, and we meet by every second month. We meet and we actually journal inside of that community. You also get resources, online resources, PDF copy of my book, Unlock the Scribe In You, so you can actually get started right away. You don't have to wait for us to actually meet virtually. So the Kingdom Scribe Collective is a global faith-based community. So it's a prophetic hub for scribes. $29 a month, and you can cancel anytime. So I will leave the links down below. So you can then decide, if you would like to join us for the Kingdom Scribe Collective movement, if you are looking to grow spiritually, if you're looking to grow emotionally, if you're healing while you're writing, that would be a good place to start. And then, of course, if you are in South Africa and you are in the Gauteng or Johannesburg region, then for sure you can come and join us in the in-person workshop. So I will leave the links down below. You'll see Arista also posting it on her platforms, and you're welcome to sign up and to come and join us. But Arista, I really believe in the season God is inviting us to think bigger, and to step into unfamiliar terrain, because it's so easy to become comfortable, and to do the things that we've always done. But he's stretching our faith, and he's just calling us higher, because there's so much more that he had in store for us. Do you have anything else that you want to share with the viewers?
I just want to say, guys, get in the room. Get in the room.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I want to say. Just get in the room. Trust it. Don't overthink it. Just get in the room. Yeah.
There you go.
And
Get into the room.
I'm looking forward to see you at the workshop.
Come say hi.
It'll be amazing.
Come and say hi. Come and say hi to us, for sure. Thank you, Arista, once again for giving your yes and for organizing it. And then if any of you want any information, feel free to send either regarding to the in-person workshop, you please reach out to Arista. You can send her a direct DM. I'll leave the details below. If you're interested in the Kingdom Scribe Collective, in joining our international community, which is virtual, you can send me a direct message. But other than that, get into the room and do the thing that makes you afraid, because you're not doing it alone. He is with you all the way. So that's it from me, Dr. Megan Brainless and Arista Steyn. We will see you in the room, or we will see you virtually on Zoom. We will speak to you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.